Can I go ahead and start? Yeah.
You've got 5.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll start. I'm going to read the special script first. That the notice was given that the meetings of the Kailua Village Design Commission, based on the mayor's proclamation regarding COVID-19, the meetings will be online until further notice to prevent the spread of COVID-19 and to maintain the social distancing. And when we get to the statements from the public, that the public participation will be limited only to written testimony via email at the planning at Hawaii County or submitted at the Hilo or Kona planning departments 2 days before the hearing. So we're going to call to order. The meeting of the Kailua Village Design Commission will come to order. Time is 5:17 p.m. Welcome everyone. My name is Sean Roth, chairperson of the Kailua Village Design Commission. And because we're online, instead of having the commissioners introduce themselves, I'll read down the list of the participating commissioners that we have online. It looks like we have Arn Werchek, Jasmine Kursat, John Hetherington, Akiela Ikuuchi, Son Sullenberger, and in the planning department location, we've got Ann Kern and Brian Ching. Did I get everyone? Okay, great. So thank you, commissioners. The commissioner's role is to provide an architectural and design review of proposed projects, including landscaping and signage within the Kailua Village Special District. The commission is an advisory body. For sign permits, the commission's recommendations are forwarded to the Public Works Director for action. For architectural design review, the commission's recommendations are forwarded to the Planning Director for action. The procedures for the meeting are Robert's Rules of Order will be used to conduct the meeting. Each commissioner wishing to speak should be recognized by the chairperson for speaking. Please remember to unmute yourself when you want to speak. Applicants and members of the public should be recognized by the chairperson when testifying. In this case, it will only be the applicants. Public testimony was submitted prior to the meeting, as I mentioned earlier. Each application will be heard in the order listed on the agenda. Staff will introduce each project. Applicants will be asked to make a presentation or statement, which will be followed by questions from the commissioners. The commission, after discussion, will vote to make a recommendation for approval, denial, or deferral. The first item on the agenda today is the approval of the minutes. The minutes from the previous meeting were distributed. Are there any corrections to the minutes? Okay, hearing no corrections, the minutes are approved. Staff, do we have any? Are there any statements from the public?
Chair, there were no comments that were received. Thank you.
Okay, for the record, there are no statements from the public. Okay, the first item of new business on the agenda, the applicant, William McCowett of Koa Architects LLC, is proposing design review for the mural painted on an existing trash and propane enclosure that was built and approved as part of the Brew Lot 12 industrial building site located at TMK 7401018. The applicant does not propose any variations to the industrial buildings located on the site that received an amended final plan approval on May 18th, 2020, and original plan approval on December 9th, 2016. Landowner is Queen Liliuokalani Trust. The leasee is Manini Holdings LLC. TMK 74010018. Location 74-5606 Pavai Place, Kailua, Kona.
Thank you, Chair. Let me just put this on the screen real quick. Okay, so this is for a mural on a trash propane enclosure on an existing trash propane enclosure at the brewery block, lot 12, approved for 2 industrial buildings and a restaurant building that was approved with an amendment to plan approval on March 7, 2019, with an update on May 18, 2020, to reflect the new configuration of the enclosure and a few other modifications to the site, with a requirement to have the KBDC, or the Kailua Village Design Commission, review the mural that was painted on the trash enclosure. And this was a request, and we did do the certificate of occupancy inspection with this request. So let me move this along here. This is the application. Queen Liliuokalani Trust, this is that they own this whole subdivision over there. This is their letter from the applicant saying the sole subject of this design review is to request the approval of the as-built mural and trash enclosure in the parking lot of their brew buildings on Pavai Place. The existing buildings and related improvements are approved and built. And the landlord, Manson Davis of Manini Holdings LLC, wishes to avoid graffiti, which inevitably would otherwise end up on concrete block walls such as this, especially in the old industrial area. Respectfully ask that you approve this design feature. Sincerely, William McCowett of Co-Architects. This is the site plan. This is the front building. This is building B, and this is building A. Umeki's restaurant plans to be over here. I'm assuming they're relocating. They're down the street on the corner of Kaiwi and Pavai. And this is going to be a new Willie's Chicken, Heiko Coffee, which previously came forward for design review. And excuse me, this is going to be Shiono's Sushi. They're all waiting to reopen, I believe. Well, they may not be open now with the COVID-19 rules in place now for restaurants. This right here is a little blow up showing you the wall. And if you look over here, you can see that there is another wall. Oops, excuse me. Behind them on a different property. Where is this going? Sorry. There's another wall between the two properties that also has painting on the wall. Oh, I can't get to it. You can see it just along here. So this is the dimensions of this wall are on this another slide over here, right here. It's under 6 feet tall, so it didn't require a permit, but it was shown on the site plan with a different configuration, with just a rectangular configuration, and I got approved for this kind of semi-triangular. I forget what they call this shape. But this is the new shape that it is, and they have chain link that they put across here. And this is the front of the new buildings. They all blend in together with the Kona Brew Block. The Brewery Club is just at the end this way towards the cul-de-sac. And then Kona Lot 12, Brew Block Lot 12 across the street is what you saw on June 23rd. Very nice buildings. And this is the poles to the shade structure that'll be completed in the near future. This is the restaurant. This is the restaurant building here. Oh, sorry, over here. Sorry, in the wrong place. This is the restaurant building. This is building A for Umeki's, and this is the building B for the 3 restaurants. Lily's Chicken, Heiko Coffee, and over here on the corner is Shiono's. I think that's all I have. That's what I have for the slide. I thought I had an aerial. Instead, I used the street scene, was easier to see the building. Any questions?
Does anyone have any questions for Roz? Okay, so hearing no questions, does the applicant have anything they'd like to present?
Aloha, everyone. Not much more to say. It definitely would get graffiti painted on it if it were just a plain cinder block wall. I'm just repeating better, basically, but I feel consistent with some of the artwork on the adjacent properties that are within the brew pub development. And, you know, it's a good thing in a lot of ways. It's not my favorite kind of art, to be honest with you, but it certainly will deter graffiti, and that's the main purpose of it being like that. So those are my only comments.
Commissioners, does anyone have any questions for Bill?
Yes, I had a question, if I may ask. Do you guys know, this is Commissioner Michele Ikeuchi, right, by the way. May I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Okay. Do you guys know what kind of mural you guys had in mind so far?
Well, the murals as done already. So what you see there is what to have approved.
Michaela, that what we're seeing there, that is the final mural.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Chair, one thing I wanted to point out real quick is that the parking is behind the front buildings. And so the mural is in this location right here in the enclosure. So it's not visible from the street. It's visible from the back doors of this building B. The entrances are the storefront windows of these buildings face the street this way. And this is where the outside seating is right here and right here.
And also the restrooms are that building in the middle.
Right, and this is the restroom building, sorry.
Okay, well, thank you, Bill, and thank you, Roz. So I'll begin the discussion with just saying that for me at least, I like the sort of the crazy industrial kind of this middle sort of street art look. I think that this the whole brewery block, everything being redeveloped and getting cleaned up is really nice, but it's sort of cool to have some remnants of the industrial area there. And I agree with the as far as deterring unwanted graffiti. This seems like a pretty good way to do it. It also makes it easier if someone does graffiti it to sort of blend in the repairs. Do any other commissioners have discussion that you'd like to add?
I would like to add, this is Commissioner Ikeuchi again. I'd like to add, I'm sorry, from the small picture, I thought that was graffiti. I did not realize that that was actually the mural, but thanks for the clarification.
Well, it's a good kind graffiti, yeah.
Yes, I like the street art look.
This is Commissioner Sullenberger.
Okay, go ahead.
I just like to commend the applicant on this. I think the idea of the sort of preemptive graffiti is probably a successful strategy in preventing the false graffiti, because there is kind of believe it or not, a graffiti artist code about not tagging over someone else's stuff, and so there's probably a good chance that this will remain as it is. So independent of any opinions on the artwork itself. I think it's kind of a good strategy in that location. And so I think it's good. One thing I do wonder about those in the photographs, we see sort of the lamppost next to it. And I think that might become sort of the next target for the random graffiti. I want to consider something about that. But anyway, come in this project. That's it.
I agree with Commissioner Sullenberger as well. Now that I know that kind of street style is intentional, I think it's a really good idea, and it kind of creates a cool angle in the industrial area, especially with the industrial area being, very well known for graffiti. Having intentional graffiti is kind of a cool idea. But I do think that Commissioner Sullenberger had a really good idea about maybe you guys should consider doing intentional graffiti on the lamppost as well, and kind of tying it into the piece. There's not a lot of decorated lampposts in Kona either way, so it would kind of also give you guys a cool angle in that area.
That's a great idea. Wish I would have thought of it myself, actually. So I'd like to, if you can, approval, and I will of course recommend that to Matson Davis, and most likely it'll get painted to match.
Arn, did you have something you were going to say earlier? Arn, I think you're muted.
Okay, I'm going to move that we approve the design as exists in place, and additionally that we approve the option of supplementing the design by painting the adjacent lamppost.
I will second that motion. This is Commissioner Sullenberger.
So we have a motion by Commissioner Werchek and seconded by Commissioner Sullenberger. Is there any discussion on the motion?
If I may.
Okay, who is that?
There may be more than one lamppost, so we should put that in the plural.
Does the proponent know the answer to that?
Yes, lampposts. So make sure the motion says plural. Okay. Lampposts. Yeah. Is there any other discussion on the motion?
I had a question.
Okay, who is this?
This is Commissioner Crusat.
Okay.
Hi. So I do like the look of the graffiti, and I do think it's a very well-known area for the graffiti in that area. But my question is, how would you touch something like that up if there was to have an instance where somebody did graffiti over it?
The best way would to invite the original artist back. The second best way is to get a competent artist of that caliber to match it. And that's basically all that comes to mind at the moment. But Matson's have very good connections in that regard, and I think it could be done, relatively soon and relatively easily.
Thank you, Bill. Commissioner, does that answer your question?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Is there any other discussion? Okay.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yes.
Hello.
Oh, yeah. Is this Commissioner Hetherington?
It is, yes.
Go ahead.
So, being an artist, I can appreciate the art. I have zero problem with it being behind the building. And, I may be behind the times, but if it were out in front of the building, I would not be approving it, simply because of the commission's idea of trying to some sense keep a sense of history. But I totally approve of the concept and the reason for the concept and its location. But for future reference, if this type of mural style were to come up, downtown Kona somewhere, I would not be approving it.
I feel the same way,
I
Commissioner.
agree with that.
Thanks,
get-
John. Yeah, I think though that
Commissioner Hetherington.
this particular area, John, is, as far as history goes, by keeping some of that is actually helps with the history of this particular area in the village. If it were to be completely erased, it's like we're excluding that part of the history of the village.
I understand, and I have spent time doing different workshops at the Soul Center near the brewery, and there's a beautiful, to me, more local enhancing mural of fishes and whales and octopuses, and was done by students from the high school. And that, for me, is just a style, right? And as we move forward in the future, I think that would be a question. And the one by Harley Davidson, that was a choice that was made. Everybody agreed with that. Again, and I'm not trying to say that I don't like modern art. I'm as abstract and crazy as you can get if you've ever seen my art. It's just a question of, is it for the commission to approve that? And again, I'm approving this, but thinking about the future.
Okay, thank you, John. Commissioners, are any more discussion on the motion? Okay, so being no further discussion, the question is on the motion. If whoever is taking notes, could you read the motion for us?
Yes, Chair, it's Rosalind Newland here. So Commissioner Warchek made the motion to approve the design as existing with the option to paint the lampposts with a similar design. And it was seconded by Commissioner Coursant? Oh, Schellenberger, I'm sorry. Schellenberger, I'm very sorry.
Okay, thank you. Can we go ahead and vote on it?
Yes. So Commissioner Ching?
Aye.
Commissioner Coursant? I
Aye.
didn't hear. Aye, okay. Commissioner Hetherington?
Aye.
Commissioner Ikiuchi?
Aye.
Commissioner Kern?
Aye.
Thank you. Commissioner Sullenberger?
Aye.
Thank you. And Commissioner Smith is excused for this evening. And that's unanimous with 7 votes.
Check.
Right?
Hey,
Oh, 6, sorry. 6.
For checks vote.
Right. Thank you. Okay, well, thank you very much.
hey, thank you. Thank you, Bill.
Yeah, thank you very much, commissioners. We appreciate it, and I know Mattson appreciates it very much also.
Okay, we'll move on to the second item on our agenda. The applicant-
Excuse me, Chair. We're
Say
gonna
goodbye.
take a 5 or 10 minute break so that we can get the next applicants to log.
Okay,
Is that right, Michelle?
okay,
I see.
5-minute break.
Yeah, Ross, can you stop sharing your screen? And then Ross, we're getting a lot of feedback from you, and I don't know if it's maybe, are you close to Dion's or something? I'm not sure. Can you try and talk again? You're muted.
Hi, Rochelle. This is Deanne.
I think you guys, when you guys are near each other, I feel like it's,
Can you hear me now?
yeah, but I hear like feedback. Are you guys near each other in there?
Yeah.
We're about 2 cubicles apart.
Oh, maybe, I don't know. Well, not sure how to fix that right now. but I think you have your one. Roz, do you have? Are the two people here? I see one of them.
Am I still sharing here?
No, you stopped.
Okay. Let me email the two people real quick.
Okay. I see. I think the one person is on.
Hey, are we ready to go? There's
Are your applicants here?
a call-in user 4 that came up. Is that the applicant?
Roz, are your applicants? Are the applicants here? Can't hear you. What did you say?
So can we start? Roz, I'm not hearing you. So, Roz, you're muted. There you go. No, no sound.
Roz is trying to get her machine working.
Okay. Can I go ahead and read the applicant's information while she's working on that? We can get up to her presentation at least, yeah? Okay, so the applicant is PAR Hawaii, proposing a sign permit for a wall sign for an existing convenience store located at the Kona Coast Shopping Center, located at TMK 740150001.
Hi, this is Rainey Castro with John Allen Sign Company.
Oh, thank you. I'm just starting to read through your application. And,
Okay, perfect.
the sign would read Nam Nam Express with proposed maximum letter height of 7 inches. The area of the sign is 4.97 square feet. Would be located 88 inches above grade, measured to the top of the sign. The colors selected for the lettering are a combination of gray and a maroon color. The landowner is Queen Liliuokalani Trust. Leasees are Value Rock Kona Coast LLC, Value Rock Loan Kona Coast LLC, Value Rock Rabuco Kona Coast LLC, TMK 740150001, located at 74-577 Kailua, Kona. Roz was working on her audio, and if that's working, then we'll ask staff to give us a presentation. Roz, I'm seeing your mouth move, but not hearing anything. Sorry. Now you're muted, Roz.
I hope nobody bought stock in Cisco.
So I think that all the commissioners have copies of the application. Can we proceed with just asking the commissioners if anyone has any questions for staff And maybe, Roz, you could go to Deanne's station if there are any questions.
This is Commissioner Brian Ching, and I may have an irrelevant question, but I'm just curious, what is Nom Nom Express?
Hi, sir. My name is Bart Manzer, the representative from Par, Hawaii. Nom Nom Express is a Nom Nom store is our branded C-store, typically attached to a Hele gas station or a 76 gas station. So it is our convenience store.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
Sounds like a shower then.
Yeah.
Okay, so commissioners, does anyone have any other questions for staff regarding the application?
I have a quick question for staff. So I just wanted to clarify the applicant will not require a variance for the sign, correct?
No, not that I believe.
7 inches.
My glasses are right on there.
Yeah, from my understanding, it needs to be smaller than 9 inches. So these are definitely compliant. So this looks like it would not need a variance.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. There. You should be able to. But I don't see the share. I didn't share it yet, did I? You don't share it?
We can hear you now.
Okay.
Well, Roz, I think all the commissioners have the printed documents that were submitted.
Okay. But I was going to put up on the screen, but I got discombobulated. Okay. I think Deanne's going to try and share it on the screen. You hit that little upside down rectangle. Right next to the participants in the middle of the screen. Well, it's okay. So it's a wall sign, and it meets the sign code for section 3-58A, where the letter height doesn't exceed 9 inches and the wall area doesn't exceed 22 square feet. And okay. And per the master plan for Kailua, they recommend that there's no more than three colors, and that it has 2 colors. And it also recommends that a wall sign be no larger than 22 square feet, and that's less than 5 square feet at 4.97 square feet. And it is a broadband just above the storefront and appears to be proportionate to the size of the building, which is part of the master plan recommendation. And it is not an illuminated sign according to the sign permit. So that's what I took from the sign permit application that I reviewed. Any questions on that?
Thank you, Roz. Commissioners, any other questions for staff? Okay, hearing no questions. Does the applicant have anything that they would like to say?
No, that's pretty self-explanatory. It's just this small sign here at that convenience store, and it looks like everything is under code. So that's all I have, pretty much.
Okay, thank you. Commissioners, do you have any questions for the applicant?
This is Commissioner Sollenberger. I have a question of the applicant.
Okay, go ahead.
Just for clarification, in the submittal materials that we're presented, there's kind of a rectangle that's given as the background to the sign. Is that an actual separate background, or is that just intended to be the wall of the building?
From what I understand, it's going to be a separate back panel that is going to be adhered to the wall, and it's going to be similar colored to the wall.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Would any commissioner care to make regarding this application?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the application as submitted.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Ikuichi.
I'll second that.
Who is seconding?
Is that Commissioner
Commissioner
Cruzat?
Cruzat?
Okay.
Commissioner Kurisat seconding. Thank you. Commissioners, is there any discussion on the motion? Okay, hearing no discussion, let's proceed to voting on the motion.
Okay, Chair, I'll be right back. I just have to go back to my desk for 1 minute. Hold on just a moment. Okay, Commissioner Ching,
Aye.
thank you. Commissioner Cruzat, maker, second of the
Aye.
motion. Aye. Okay. Commissioner Heatherington? Commissioner Heatherington?
Wake up.
Aye.
Aye.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I didn't repeat the motion. The motion was presented by Commissioner Ikuchi to approve the application as submitted, and it was seconded by Commissioner Cruzat. So far, Commissioner Ching and Commissioner Cruzat have voted aye, and Commissioner Heatherington, you were voting aye?
I am voting aye.
Okay. Commissioner Ikuchi, maker of the motion?
Aye.
Aye. Commissioner Kern?
Aye.
Thank you. Commissioner Sullenberger?
Aye.
Aye. And Commissioner Warchick?
Warchick, aye.
Thank you very much. Okay, and Commissioner Riley again is excused as requested. Okay, that is six votes again. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Roz. So the motion is adopted. So thank you for your patience, applicants. So move on. That's the last item of new business. Move on. Are there any administrative matters?
There's no administrative matters. We do have applications for the next meeting coming up on July 21st. And it will be an online meeting again.
Okay, so that falls under announcements then, that we will have a meeting live.
Yes.
Thank you, Roz.
Thank you.
Are there any further announcements?
No.
Okay, so if there's no further business, then the meeting is adjourned at 5:59 p.m.
Okay, thank you very much.
And yeah, thank you all for your patience with the technology here. And we'll again in 2 weeks, huh?
Yes.
Have a good one.
All right. Take care, all.
Aloha, thank you.
No.
Cool.
Never, I mean,
This is gonna be here.
what, she was talking